Okay, welcome to your refining the skin. So once you have like your facial features on there, like I still didn't do that part, but that will get done. I can still do what I need to do without having that part done. I would take, hold your picture up, take a couple steps back with the picture in your hand, and then look at your drawing from far away. So when I did that, I noticed like, hey, I got too light over here. This comes in more. I also noticed like this needs to be lighter. This needs to kind of get dulled down. This needs to get gone over a little bit. Her chin is brighter. So you'll start noticing like the little things that you need to go back and do. So this is the big difference between an A and a B. I'm going to first start with pulling back out some of the darks gently. So I'm going to draw with my kneaded eraser. Jeez. I'm going to kind of gently fade in. It almost connects there. I feel like it comes over a little bit more and kind of fades out, but I also feel like it's not as sharp. Okay, so that got darker because I am going to blend over that. Right above that nostril, it's pretty dark right there. So I'm going a little bit darker than I think I need. Then with the dirty end of my white blender, so this is the end I've been using for like everything, I'm going to see like, okay, well, how much do I have on there? Not a whole lot. I'm going to blend over areas that I still feel like are not very smooth. Just like another once over. And pretty much I'm collecting the charcoal from those areas to put in other spots. So I still feel like this eye could use a little more. Okay, so then I'm gonna kind of go with the curve of the features. I'll blend over, kind of go along the edge, mess up my value map. Stuff like this is pretty harsh looking. Okay. And I feel like that doesn't come down as far as I have. Okay, so then that looks way better, except for I want to gently blend over that part. Okay, now it's time for her cheek. Because I'm kind of looking at like, okay, according to, I guess I could take my pencil. Like, where does this like fade out at? It's like the edge of the eye. Okay, so, and then it's like, okay, how high does this part come? It kind of lines up angled with the nose. So that means I need to bring that up a little bit. And also I'm kind of looking like here. Okay, let me clean this eraser. Ooh, this eraser's, if it's coming apart like that, like you get too much oil in it from touching it too much, and these erasers are almost done. They're ready to be done. Okay, so I'm kind of looking at that curve, drawing that in a little, kind of bringing it. Then I'm gonna go back over this part. And then in the dark areas, I'm gonna kind of clean that up too while I'm here, because this is pretty dark and I do still feel like I got a little bit too light. So I'm gonna lighten that. So I'm gonna really lighten up my pressure. Okay. So I'm gonna go along the edge, just to kind of get a smoother transition. Okay, then I'm gonna kind of go along with the curve of the cheek and the curve of the, And it's like barely there. Okay, since this isn't straight up black, I'm going to gently kind of go. That still looks weird, but I have some light value to add, so I'm going to kind of bring that down a little bit. Okay. I squint my eyes, make them fuzzy. Where's my brightest part? So like around here, I need to kind of redefine the edge. Because it's pretty bright until it's up here. So I definitely don't want to outline. I'm going to match that line and kind of fade it out. I feel like it's brighter in here. It's brighter. And so you want to be really careful because you don't want to spend a whole lot of time, you know, blending. I'm being careful of these eyelashes, but I'm going to pull some of that light value up into the shadow. And there's some light value, ooh, between the lashes I didn't see before. That's okay, we'll just grab a small blender for that. And a little bit fading over. So I'm trying to hold it towards the end as much as possible. I want to get, you know, like really gentle circular kind of motion so I don't have to spend forever blending. And this blending layer, because I'm hoping this is my last layer of light value, I'm hoping I won't have to press very hard for the blending. I feel like this still looks like a little harsh right here. Okay, so then I did notice like over here it's a little bit lighter. Just her chin, definitely lighter. And then it like subtly fades out. Okay. Above the lips. So I don't want to outline the lips. I don't want it to look like she's wearing light lip liner. So be really careful. Just go right up to the edge. You might have to sharpen at this point. I'm almost at the point where I need to sharpen. Okay, that other lip. And it's pretty bright, like right underneath this nose part. And for some of you, especially males, gentlemen, above your lip, between like where hair would grow and your lip, you might actually have like a highlight that runs along it. So because you're, your lip is a little more pronounced, I would check, you know, like, do you have a highlight there? Okay, so and that's not as obvious. I'm going to blend over that part. I'm just going to add it everywhere. Sorry, you guys have to. I'll like, should I keep building up this nose and it just really is not getting very much lighter? I'm going to stay away from the eyebrow. And then I'll go back and put that highlight, that little shine part on her nose. You guys can't see it in the picture, but I would go back and add that and then just not blend it. So for your very precise highlights, you have to just not blend. Okay, so now I want to be super careful and pull into, because she has like, I think she had highlighter on. So she definitely has a highlight above the eyebrow. Okay. And then it does fade over here. And the highlighter kind of comes. Dang it, this looks like this needs to be lighter. Sorry, I was just analyzing from far away. I thought I like worked that nostril and worked that nostril and worked that nostril, and now that nostril looks tiny. A little bit bigger. Okay, so for this layer, you want to use the dirty end of your bigger blender, and I'm going to hold it at the very end so I'm not pressing very hard. So I really want to just kind of like fade it into what's there. And if it has a little, I mean, this paper you're going to get, especially this is a huge, like I did a really cropped view of her. You're going to get some texture showing. Like it's not going to be perfectly smooth. I mean, it'll be smooth, but it might not be perfectly smooth. And if you are smaller on the paper, then it probably looks way more smooth. But some of you did do like a cropped view and it totally looks cool. Just know it's part of the media. It's not you. Okay, so oh, okay, that doesn't look so bad. I was like, I think I need to wipe off my blender. So I'm barely pressing so that I don't have to go back. I'm done with her skin. I still feel like I'm gonna have to go back over this cheek, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to use my medium blender in here too. Switch. So I really do like using the big blender for the last layer because it's just, well, and I've used this end for like everything. So it's like a really soft blender now, and it's not like lifting the charcoal. Whereas for the medium and small one, I have to use it here anyway, but it kind of like scratches the paper in a way a little bit. And it lifts off like what you've added. But obviously if it's a small area, just you're gonna have to really adjust your pressure. Okay. All right, let me look on this nose. This nose, it looked easy at first, but man, there's some super subtle values on here. Okay, so for that highlight, you guys can't really see it, but there's like a shine on the nose tip, like right there. So I'm gonna add that, and then I'm not blending it. So I'm not touching this nose again. Just gonna add a little, and then I'm gonna fade out. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to, no! That just got in an area I didn't want it to get. Or if I can just use that brush. Okay. So use my finger. Get rid of that. It's still there. Well, it kind of needs to fade in there anyway, actually. Let me clean off my blender. It almost connects right there. Okay. I'm gonna use my medium blender for around the eyebrow, and I'm gonna try not to touch, you know, the edge of it, obviously. Okay, so this is the other end of my blender where there's barely anything on it. I'm gonna kind of like just go along the jawline edge, like where it fades out, just to kind of get a smoother transition. Okay. I feel like this needs to kind of like connect a little bit. Okay. It is not perfect, but for the sake of your sanity watching this, I think I'll be done with the skin. All right, after you have refined everything, you've finished your clothing, like finish your clothing first, then you're gonna do your hair. So she doesn't really have clothing that is good enough to show you. I did put some videos in on, like, from YouTube about the cloth. You just have to like look at it and think of it not as cloth and just shapes of value and, you know, blending, fading, where they connect. But anyway, especially if you have longer hair, like I'll have all this done before I do that hair. All right, see you in the hair videos.